Hey guys, Bryan here from Liquid Concepts. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how to scale your business. And so if you guys have seen any of our other videos, you'll notice that we have a fairly large shop here with a lot of room and a lot of different things. And so you're probably wondering, how do you scale it to get to either this size or even larger? So how do you scale your business from maybe starting out in your backyard in a little bitty shop all the way to getting your own place with maybe a lot more materials, a lot more equipment, and how do you scale it correctly? Now, there is a lot of ways that you can scale that. Number one is, if you have enough money, you can scale it exponentially larger, and that is always going to be the quickest and easiest way. Now, the other thing is that most people are not going to go that route because whenever they're first getting into it, they may not have a lot of capital to put into the business. And so what money that they do make, they need to put back into the business to help it grow. And so that's pretty much what we did whenever we first got started, because just to give you a quick little background story, we actually started this business in our backyard. And so we've grown it to what it is today, and I'm very thankful for that. But there was a lot of hard times. There's a lot of work involved. And, you know, just by helping and scaling the business slowly, it has really helped us out in making sure that we get the right things that we need for the business and maybe not buying everything all at once. So that way we can make sure that we put our money exactly where it needs to go. So let's talk a little bit about what all you're going to need to help scale your business from a small shop to a larger shop. So the first thing is going to be your equipment. And so your equipment is going to be the key thing on making a better product in general. Now, of course, first starting out, you may not have a full stainless tank like what's sitting beside me right here. You may start out with a fiberglass tank or a homemade tank or anything like that, and that's perfectly fine. Now, again, once you start getting in a little bit more cash flow and you start getting in a little bit more revenue, that might be something to look at upgrading if it's possibly hurting you and making it to where you can't accept the larger items whenever they come in your door, because the smaller items may pay $100 to $300, where a larger tank with a larger item that you can fit in this can pay $500 to $1,000. So doing one job for $1,000 instead of 10 jobs for $100, you can take your pick on which one's probably going to possibly make more money. So looking at it as well, we're also talking about our equipment even in the paint guns. So paint guns are going to be really crucial on making sure that you get a really great finish. And so we did not start out having super high-end paint guns whenever we first started. We had cheap paint guns. Matter of fact, I think my first paint gun that I ever bought was from Home Depot. It was a Husky paint gun. I want to say I paid 80 bucks for it. And I used that thing religiously all the time. Matter of fact, I still have it. And so with something like that, it's one of those things where I'll probably never use it again, but that's where I got started. And then once we started to make a little bit more money, we definitely invested into the tools and the equipment that we have. And of course, with a paint gun, that's definitely going to be one of the key things that you want to have a really great tool for, is because you're putting out really good quality finishes. So you need to have that paint gun to help make everything spray out a lot better, maybe glass it out a lot better, and possibly even get less runs and things like that, because you have more control with the paint gun itself. And let's be honest, those cheap Harbor Freight guns or something like that, they will always leak every single time. I've never seen one that doesn't leak within probably a month to 6 months. I'm sure there's probably going to be people on here that say that they are the best and they work great, and I'm sure they do for certain applications, but for us, we never did really see that it worked out really great, especially for the activator itself. But even for the clear coat and all of that, I've never been a big fan of those, and the quality just wasn't there for what we felt like we wanted to put out. So for us, we chose using really nice guns from DeVilbiss or SATA or Iwata or any of those really good name brand companies, and that has really served us well over the years itself. Another thing to definitely look at is your painting area. So of course, your painting area is, again, where you're going to be spraying all of your paints, primers, clear coats, everything like that. So if you have a better setup, then you should be able to get better results, which also means less trash in your clear coat. It also means better lighting, and it also means possibly even having a larger area to paint in. So of course, we did not start out having a paint booth like this right here that we can roll a 4-door dually in and still be able to walk around. We started out having a lot smaller, and it was more or less a makeshift paint booth that we started out with. And then from there, we grew it into what we have today. And so having that paint booth has really helped us out. Now, this one, of course, is a baking booth, so we can actually bake our items and turn out parts quicker, which means that we're going to have faster turnover for each part that goes in, and we don't even have to wait overnight to have those ready to go. So if you're doing production or things like that, that might be something that you definitely want to look into, because you're able to have a lot more throughput throughout your entire process itself. Another thing to definitely look into is air compressor. So a lot of the time starting out, air compressors, you can buy those at Home Depot or any other places, marketplace, anything like that, and you'll probably end up with a 30-gallon. Maybe you might splurge for a 60 or 80-gallon, but you want to have a good compressor with also a good amount of flow to it, because let's be honest, using a paint gun is going to use a lot of air, as well as any of your other products that you're using, especially spraying your activator or anything like that. You're always going to need that air demand. And so as your shop grows, your air demand should also grow with it. So having a reliable air compressor that can easily keep up is definitely going to make it to where you have less downtime and more available air, so that way you can continue doing your business and not have to worry about it. And of course, last but not least is going to be space. And so of course, you can only fit so many things in a 1-car garage or in a littler shop that's maybe in your backyard or something like that. And so whenever you have much more space for those items, you can start turning a lot more projects and maybe even bigger projects. So if you get a production job or anything like that, you have the room to keep the production parts there, as well as you also have the space to keep them in line, so that way you know which one is going for prep work, which one's going for clear coating, which one is in the middle for the dipping and everything like that, and you can keep everything a lot more organized. So definitely having the space to have an organized shop and everything like that will definitely help out in the long run to make sure that everything works the way that it needs to, and you can keep everything as organized and clean as possible. So of course, there is tons of other ways that you can scale your business, but those are definitely going to be some of the top 5 that I have that has really helped me out in making sure that as I'm scaling my business, I'm always making sure that I scale it the right way, so that way I can see what I need to put my money into to help me the most. And so the one thing that has really helped me out is to take a look at your business itself. See where your biggest problem is on how slow it's taking you to do a certain job, whether it be your paint booth is too small, or you have a smaller sandblaster, or it's taking forever to, do whichever. And so the problem that you have the most, that's taking the most time, try to focus on that first. And then once you solve that problem, then you can move on to another step and try to solve the next biggest problem that's in your production line itself, whether it be your paint guns or your quality of your paint or the quality of the booth that you're spraying in, or even the quality of the tank that you're using. All of those will help make everything a lot better, a lot faster, and hopefully a lot easier as you scale that business. So once you start getting more money into the business itself, then you can start using those funds to help scale it and get the items that you need to make everything a lot better as you grow your business. So hopefully this video has really helped you guys out. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them below. Always love to hear from you on that, as well as let me know some of your success stories on what has helped you the most on scaling your business, as well as if you think that I've missed anything or you want to add anything, always love to hear from you on that as well. If you like the video, definitely give us a thumbs up and like it, as well as definitely hit that subscribe button. We'd always love to have you subscribe to our weekly tips on anything hydrographics related. We're also going to have links in the description below, so if you're looking at possibly getting an upgrade for your equipment, whether it be paint guns or tanks or anything like that, it's all there on the website. So we'll have links in the description, so that way you can check out the website and learn more about that. I'm Bryan from Liquid Concepts, and this is how we customize your world. We'll see you guys next time.